been building in your mind, but you'll find a way to live these dreams you hold inside. You can't just live within your grasp, 'cause what's out of reach are all the things that you were meant to be. I will lay you down and I'll show you how to close your eyes and see beyond the doubt. When everything you see is broken and nothing seems it's going right.
Hey everyone, episode 2. Thank you for downloading. Thank you for supporting. This is the Proslamworld podcast with yours truly, Larry Mohrmann. And we're back. We made it to a second week. We're on this journey together, folks. And I'm happy to lead us on the way. Had some good feedback from a lot of people about last week's episode, about the pilot episode, if you will. So good things are abound to happen here with Proslamworld Podcast. And, of course, you can follow me pretty much almost on any social media outlet at Mohr365, MOHR365. Of course, also, you can check out Proslamworld on YouTube, where you will find this podcast actually on YouTube and a lot of other fun videos presented by Proslamworld. To bring everyone up to speed, basically, we're here to talk about everything wrestling, whether it's WWE or the independents. And we're going to talk a little bit of both today. And I want to also, in maybe your area, your neck of the woods, if there's any independent promotions you'd like to talk about, you'd like to bring to my attention, there's a lot. There is a ton of wrestling out there that a lot of people don't know about because a lot of it's local. Out here on Long Island, New York Wrestling Connection, NYWC. Big time with, a lot of guys came out of there. Kurt Hawkins, Zack Ryder, Matt Stryker, Tony Nese right now, just to name a few. So if you have an independent promotion, definitely let me know about it. Let me hear about it. Hit me up on social media. I'll be more than happy to check it out. Maybe open my eyes to some more wrestling action. We got a lot to talk about this week. Some shakeups on SmackDown Live, and I'm not talking about the superstar shakeups. We have a new number one contender, which we will discuss. And we'll also discuss this week this plague, maybe not a plague, an infection of guys coming up from NXT to the main roster and immediately getting hurt. So we'll talk about that. And we'll also talk about, I have my thoughts on part-time champions. So I'll get into that as well. Maybe a little bit of a shoot, but that's what I'm here for. I'm here to cut through the bull and bring you exactly my thoughts, my opinions, and these are all my opinions. Remember, this is also a spoiler-free zone. But first, let's talk about some upcoming events for Ring of Honor and for Evolve Wrestling. First of all, we have ROH Unauthorized making its way to Milwaukee, Wisconsin on April 28th. This is basically ROH Unauthorized is, if you want to look at it, it's probably going to be a better version of WCW Uncensored. All the matches will be unsanctioned. Of course, since it's unsanctioned, no title matches, but champions will fight that night. Pretty much here is the card, and remember, folks, as always, card subject to change. That night, April 28th, ROH Unauthorized in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the Motor City Machine Guns will take on The Kingdom. Of course, Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin taking on The Kingdom's Matt Tavern and Vinny Marceligia. I'm never going to pronounce his name correctly. In a four-corner survival match, the Beer City Bruiser will take on Shane Taylor, who will take on Punishment Martinez, who will take on Cheeseburger. If you haven't seen Cheeseburger in action, you have to watch Ring of Honor Wrestling. Cheeseburger is one of the best attractions in there. Adam Cole will go one-on-one with Jay White. Of course, these are all unsanctioned. So, in a non-title match, the Ring of Honor World Television Champion, the Villain, Marty Scurll, will take on Delirious. In a six-man tag team match, again, non-title, the Ring of Honor World Six-Man Tag Team Champions, Bully Ray and the Briscoes, Jay and Mark Briscoe, will take on Dalton Castle and the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, War Machine, Hanson and Ray Rowe. I'm going to stop right here. Dalton Castle is the best gimmick going on today in all of professional wrestling. If you have not seen Dalton Castle and the boys, if you have not seen Dalton Castle's entrance with the boys, it is worth your while to go on YouTube. Or better yet, get tickets to ROH Unauthorized or whenever Ring of Honor is in your neck of the woods. I mark out for Dalton Castle whenever I see him in person. It's fantastic. Pro Wrestling's last real man, Silas Young, will take on Jay Lethal, the greatest first-generation professional wrestler. And in the main event, of course, non-title. I don't know why they say non-title, because it's a tag team match. Oh, okay. That's why I forgot. The Addiction, which is the heavy metal rebel, Frank Kazarian, and the ROH World Heavyweight Champion, Christopher Daniels, will take on the reigning Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. That's set. And that's actually set for Friday, April 20th, 2017. Bell time, 7:30 p.m. local time. And that will be at the Turner Hall Ballroom in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Now, the very next night, April 29th, also, Ring of Honor Masters of the Craft. That is going to happen at the Eisenhower Center in Hopkins, Minnesota. Bell time, 7 p.m. local, Saturday, April 29th. Now, here, we're going to have some good matches. The Ring of Honor World Television Championship will be on the line when the ROH World Television Champion, the Villain, Marty Scurll, will take on Ken Anderson. You may remember him as Mr. Kennedy in the WWE, or Mr. Anderson in TNA. I didn't even know Ken Anderson signed with Ring of Honor. That's pretty cool. In a tag team match, the Rebellion, Shane Taylor and Rhett Titus will take on the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions, War Machine. Punishment Martinez and Jay White will go one-on-one. Jay Lethal and the Beer City Bruiser will go one-on-one. Also, in a singles match, 1/3 of the Ring of Honor six-man tag team champions, Bully Ray, will take on Silas Young. Matt Tavern versus Adam Cole, a battle of the original Kingdom. And also, in a match, 2/3 of the Ring of Honor World six-man tag team champions, the Briscoes, will battle it out with the Motor City Machine Guns. And in the main event, The Addiction and Dalton Castle will battle it out with the Bullet Club. That's right, the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks, and Hangman Page. Ring of Honor loves their six-man tag team matches. I think that's awesome. It's six-man tag team matches, I think, is kind of a lost art. And with ROH now, this is the first U.S. promotion in, I forgot how many years, to have a recognized six-man world championship. WCW did it, NWA did it back in the day, but it's pretty cool. I like how they have. I'm not crazy about the design of the titles, though, for the six-man tag team titles, but just the fact that they have these championships is pretty cool, because they're always doing six-man tags, as you can see. So check out those two shows. Now, also, if you're in New York, we have a couple shows in Queens and in Brooklyn. Evolve Wrestling, which you can also watch live on FlowSlam.tv. April 22nd, which is tomorrow if you're listening to this on the 21st. At Evolve. It's Evolve. What are they up to? Oh, my gosh. Evolve 82. ACH and Austin Theory in a special challenge match. In a special attraction match, Keith Lee will take on Kyle O'Reilly. Yes, the former Ring of Honor World Champion, Kyle O'Reilly, is in Evolve. The Evolve Tag Team titles will be defended. Tracy Williams and Fred Yehai will defend against Chris Dickinson and Jaka. And there is a triple main event. In a last man standing match, Darby Allin and Ethan Page. In a non-title match, the Evolve champion Zack Sabre Jr. will fight Drew Galloway. So Galloway finishing up his independent matches because he is currently in NXT. He's back, Drew McIntyre. And for the WWN title, and I believe this is the first defense of the WWN Championship, which was crowned WrestleMania weekend. The WWN champion Matt Riddle will defend for the first time against former Evolve champion Timothy Thatcher. That is Saturday, April 22nd. That will be from La Boom in Queens, New York. Woodside, to be specific. I've been to La Boom. It's a small nightclub, but it's awesome for wrestling. Sometimes those intimate, small venues, whether it be a nightclub or just a gymnasium or something, it really kind of almost heightens the whole show. It's pretty cool. I always like those small shows. Now, also Evolve will move over to Brooklyn, New York on Sunday, April 23rd. And that night, in an Evolve 80 rematch, Ethan Page and Austin Theory will tie it up. ACH versus Jaka in a special challenge match. Also in a special challenge match, Keith Lee and Darby Allin will fight it out. In a special attraction match, one half of the Evolve Tag Team Champions, Fred Yehai, will battle Kyle O'Reilly. In an I Quit match, the WWN champion Matt Riddle and Drew Galloway. That's going to get nasty and that's going to get vicious. And with the Evolve Championship on the line, Zack Sabre Jr. defends against Leo Rush. Look at this. Leo Rush, Drew Galloway, Kyle O'Reilly. The names that Evolve is really packing in to their shows, they're going to become a juggernaut in just a short amount of time. You know, I'm not saying they're going to get all the pay-per-view rights. I'm not going to say they may be the top three. But if I could put a fourth, at least from what I know right now, in North America, Evolve is a top contender for being like the fourth of the top four wrestling promotions. In my opinion, WWE, Ring of Honor, Impact Wrestling, Evolve. Though, it won't take much for Evolve to pass Impact Wrestling. So we got some good shows coming up for the last week there in April. Next to last week in April. So let's switch gears here for a moment. If anyone watched SmackDown Live, and hopefully you did, SmackDown Live crowned a new number one contender. And this gentleman will face Randy Orton at Backlash, the next SmackDown-only pay-per-view. And that number one contender is Jinder Mahal. You heard me right. Jinder Mahal. Mahal won a six-pack challenge. Basically, Eric Rowan, Luke Harper, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Mojo Rawley, and Jinder Mahal were involved in this match. Winner goes on to face Randy Orton. I love the fact that Jinder Mahal won this match because there is no reason, none whatsoever, why Jinder should not be in a title match, especially on a pay-per-view. Here's my thought process, besides the fact that he's talented. He's got the talent. This is why the roster split works. This is new. Yes, Randy Orton's a champion. That's not new. I get it. But Jinder challenging for the title is new. And that's what we need. We need new blood in these title matches. This could be his only title match, which is fine in the long run. I'm sure he's not going to win the championship, which is fine in the long run. And I honestly thought when I saw the six-pack challenge that maybe the champion will get a title match like in 2 weeks or something. But no, this is the main event of a pay-per-view for SmackDown Live. And it's going to be Randy Orton defending against Jinder Mahal. And that newness, that freshness is what WWE needs. Getting tired of seeing AJ Styles in the main event, Dean Ambrose in the main event, Roman Reigns in the main event. And I'm not tired of seeing them. It's not them personally. It's just they've been in a lot of title matches. They've been in a lot of pay-per-view main events. Let's move to the side and let's let a couple of new guys make their way, make their name in a main event. Mojo Rawley won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He is the 4th winner of the Battle Royal. And they've, Cesaro won it the first year. They didn't do anything with him. Big Show won it the second year. They never do anything with the Big Show anymore. Baron Corbin won it in Dallas. They pushed him. Hey, I'll be right back. All right, I am back. I am sorry about that. I'm recording live, if you will, and as you heard, I needed to take that phone call. So I know to you it was only about 5 seconds, but it was a few minutes. But I had to take care of some business. So now I got to remember where I left off. So, oh yeah, that's right. New blood in main events. Well, I pretty much said what I had to say about it. Let's get some guys who will probably never see another title match again. Get them in the main event. It's something different. It's something new. Because we all know, come SummerSlam, come Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, it's going to be the same old in those title matches. So let's take it while we can. And also, here's another thing, which kind of goes back to when Great Khali was world champion. Let's face fact, and there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with what I'm about to say at all. Marketing. India is a huge market now for WWE to get into and have been a part of. And why not cater to the Indian audience with a guy like Jinder Mahal, with guys like the Bollywood Boys, because they helped Jinder win this 6-pack challenge. Cater to your audience. Unless you're trying to push Roman Reigns. But otherwise, I think it's a smart move. I think it's a smart marketing move. I think it's a smart move to keep the product fresh, because definitely whoever's writing for SmackDown, they're doing a much better job, in my opinion, than Raw. This whole thing with Braun Strowman has been fantastic on Raw, but Roman is taking on Braun in a couple weeks at Backlash. Not Backlash, excuse me, at Payback. And, the likelihood of Braun winning that match, I don't know. I feel like it's slim to none, because they're just going to continue to push Roman. But that's on Raw. SmackDown, Jinder Mahal, Randy Orton. I think it's going to be a great match. I think they're going to let him go with it. Let them do their thing. And I just hope to see more, and I don't mean it in a bad way. I don't mean it in a condescending way, but more kind of odd matchups or different challengers that you don't normally see on pay-per-view. So, good luck, Jinder Mahal. Speaking of Roman, let's take a moment right now to remember another superstar who left us way, way too soon. Rosie, if you remember from 3 Minute Warning. And he also teamed up with Hurricane Helms. He was a superhero in training, S-H-I-T, superhero in training. Rosie, the brother of Roman Reigns. He was cousins with Umaga, who was Jamal as 3 Minute Warning, and we all know Umaga passed away a few years ago. I don't know. I didn't read anything as far as the reason for Rosie's untimely passing, but, we lose him too soon. We lose a lot of these superstars way, way, way too soon. So, thoughts and prayers to Roman Reigns' family. And, rest in peace, Rosie. Rest in peace. Now, we're getting some, you want to talk about fresh meat, fresh blood. Let's talk about NXT call-ups. I mean, we got Ty Dillinger called up to SmackDown. The Revival called up to Raw. But, 2 weeks after their call-up? It's going to be a little while before we see the Revival. Unfortunately, it was Dash Wilder. Yep, Dash suffered a broken jaw, I believe it was, at a live event, and he's going to be out for 8 weeks. You know, does that mean now the Revival is off TV for that long? Will they have Scott Dawson do some singles matches? But it's just kind of odd. This is like the third, I think, if I remember correctly, the third NXT call-up to get injured so quickly. Let's go back to Finn Balor. He was on Raw for a month. Got hurt at SummerSlam. And don't get me wrong, obviously they're not doing it on purpose. It sucks. You know, I'm glad to see him get all healed up and take the time to recover. But Finn Balor, injured at SummerSlam. I mean, he won the Universal Championship, but then had to relinquish it just 24 hours later. And then Balor was out from August until night after WrestleMania, April. Dash Wilder, we just said, with a broken jaw, he's going to be out for a while. Enzo and Cass, remember they had the match with the Vaudevillains, and Enzo got tossed out of the ring, hit his head on the bottom rope, knocked himself out cold, solid cold. He was out for a few weeks, but they're able to keep Big Cass on television because Cass was a singles wrestler as well, and he can hold his own in singles competition. In fact, he was in the Fatal 4-Way to crown the new Universal Champion after Balor had to give it up. But these guys, they come up to NXT and from NXT and they get hurt quick. It's just, it kind of unfortunately takes the steam out from them. Let's face it. I mean, Finn Balor, place was going nuts for a month, and then he's gone for whatever, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, 8 months. I mean, can you imagine? Now we have to wait a whole year to see what would have been a tremendous entrance at WrestleMania for Finn Balor as the Demon. The Revival, one of my favorite tag teams in NXT. The first ever 2-time NXT tag team champions. Now, 2 weeks, they were hotter than hell, and now they're out. Sometimes people can be forgotten. I don't care how big or how little you are, what your status is on the roster. Some people can be forgotten. But hopefully these guys won't be. Hopefully they can still use them in some capacity, even with get Scott Dawson on TV. Just keep the Revival in our heads, so that way when Dash finally comes back, Dash and Dawson, I would love to see them as Raw Tag Team Champions. Not yet, too soon. But it's just. It's tough. You always got to look out for those injuries, and you just hate to see it on guys just with so much momentum, and just the momentum just stops. So speedy recovery there for Dash Wilder. And I'd like to start to close up this episode 2 of the Proslamworld podcast with my editorial. Is that what it's called? Of part-time champions. Currently, the Universal Champion is Brock Lesnar. He won that title April 2nd at WrestleMania, which he won it from a part-time wrestler, Goldberg. Now, Brock won the title April 2nd. As of my recording here tonight, it is April 20th. I don't think, besides the Raw after WrestleMania, I don't think we've seen Brock. And, I go back and forth on this. When The Rock was champion, Goldberg champion, Brock champion. These part-timers, here's where my inner conflict boils up. Back in the day, we were talking the 80s, even the 90s, you didn't often see the champion on television every week. You didn't see Hogan on television every week. You didn't see Savage on television each and every week. Same with Flair. WWE, that is. Which, on its own, is good. It gives it that mystique. That it gives the title that special feel when you finally see a title match. But at the same time, these guys were working house shows, and they were defending titles at house shows. Brock Lesnar, Goldberg, The Rock, they're not defending at house shows. The Rock, let's see. His first match back was against Cena at WrestleMania 28. So after WrestleMania... all right, no, I'm sorry. Let's go back a few months. Survivor Series 2011 at the Garden, Madison Square Garden. Tag match. That was Rock's first match back. Okay. His second match then was against John Cena at WrestleMania. His third match back after, 7 or 8 years, was at the Royal Rumble 2013. That's where he won the WWE Championship. So his third match back, The Rock won the title. His fourth match was 1 month later at Elimination Chamber, defending against CM Punk. Now, keep in mind, there weren't many... he didn't do many appearances on Raw and SmackDown in between all these matches. Let alone, I don't think he did any house shows. WrestleMania 29 is, what are we now, at 5? His fifth match loses to John Cena. Goldberg comes back after 13 years. His, not counting the Royal Rumble, I'm not going to count the Rumble, second match back, he wins the Universal Championship. He does not wrestle until a few weeks later when he defends against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. So he only had 3 matches. He was not doing house shows. Now, Brock Lesnar, and everyone says Brock is the exception. You know what? Maybe Brock is the exception to this rule. I don't know. But Brock only works a very, very small handful of house shows. He's not defending every week at house shows. He's not on Raw every week. And even though Brock by himself is a special attraction, which is, I'm fine by that, make his few appearances, WrestleMania, he'll wrestle at the big shows, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, that's fine. Every now and again, he'll work a house show. That's fine. That's Brock. Brock is the exception to that rule. But as champion, let's go kayfabe here. The title must be defended once every 30 days. Brock is not defending that title every 30 days. When Brock beat John Cena at SummerSlam a few years ago, 2014? That was August. I think then he defended in September. And then not again till January. Then even after that, Brock didn't defend again until WrestleMania when Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank. I'm fine with keeping the champion off television, but bring him back every few weeks. I'm fine with the title not being defended on Raw. Defend it at the Raw pay-per-views. Because I'm talking the Universal Championship. Try in this wacky world that we love to be a part of as fans, if someone's booking shows, guys are working the shows, let's try and give it a little bit of a rub and have your champion appear more often than every few months. I don't care who you are. And the fact that the Universal Championship at WrestleMania was against 2 part-timers, that says so much to me for guys like Kevin Owens, who had to lose the title at Fastlane just months before WrestleMania. And a lot of these guys on the roster who were there each and every week, they should have been in the title match at WrestleMania. Brock and Goldberg they could have had the exact same match that they had at WrestleMania. Remove the title. exact same moves, exact same outcome. It would have been the exact same pop and the exact same feel as far as, oh, Brock finally beat Goldberg. But why did it have to be about the title? That match did not need to be about the title. But it was. I'm not the one making the decisions. I'm the one paying my $9.99 every month, happily paying my $9.99 every month for the network, for WWE Network. But Bully Ray, actually, he made a good point. When Bully Ray showed up to Manhattan Mayhem 6 for Ring of Honor at the Hammerstein Ballroom last month in March, he said he's in Ring of Honor. He's not really there to take anyone's spot in a title match because Bully Ray could have booked Bully in a moment for a title match at their next show. Could have, but they didn't. Yes, Bully Ray's 1/3 of the 6-man tag team champions, but I think that's more out of necessity because the Kingdom had a major injury at their last pay-per-view. But it's these part-timers. It's just I don't get putting the belt on them. But again, I'm gonna give the devil his due. Brock, if you consider Brock the exception to this rule, then put him on TV every few weeks. Make sure he defends at every Raw pay-per-view. And you know what? Every 30 days, send him to a house show. Because I'm pretty sure Raw runs a house show at least once every 30 days in a major market. I understand Brock's not going to go probably to Des Moines or Grand Rapids or somebody, Walla Walla, Washington. But he'll be in New York City. He'll be in Philadelphia. He'll be in Los Angeles. Book him at those shows. And I'm sure these loops, every now and again, will pass through a major city. Chicago. You know what I mean? Minneapolis. He's from Minnesota. So, I just hope they really do away with part-timers as champions. Because I'm not sure. I mean, I'd love to see Braun take the Universal Championship from Brock. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm pretty sure Brock Lesnar will hold on to the title till SummerSlam, at least. And we'll take it from there. So, and with that, those are my thoughts. Those are my views. Those are my opinions. Thank you very much for listening. Please subscribe to the Proslamworld podcast so you can get this each and every week. Please check out Proslamworld on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube, please. Find me everywhere at Mohr365, MOHR365. Drop me a line. Let me know what you think. Let me know your questions. I'd be more than happy to give you my opinion on maybe some questions you may have about the wrestling world. And with that, I will leave you this week, and I will catch you next week. Be real, everyone. Take care.
It's time to live.